these computer algorithms are spitting out some big win totals. We had the guys at Nylon Calculus, they put things together and said the Celtics are going to be a 49-win third seed. And then 538 came out today, and not only did their quote-unquote Carmelo system put the Celtics at 48 wins, which puts them clearly in the top half of the conference, they had the Marcus Smart player projection and the similar players with James Harden. And then the next one was Paul George.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, he's got some decent comparables right there.
Holy crap. I mean, really? Are the Celtics – I look at 48 and 49 wins, and I think, you know, they're a couple of bounces away in a couple of those games from being a 50-win team. Are the Celtics, as currently constituted, good enough to win 48, 49, 50 games?
I don't think it's completely out of the question. I won't go so far as to say they're like a lock or anything like that to get 48 wins. But they were 24-12 over the last 36 games last season.
Yeah.
They will now have Isaiah Thomas for a full season.
Right.
They added David Lee, who should help the first unit scoring, which was abominable last year. The starters scored like the 76ers last year.
It was horrible.
Awful.
Terrible.
Awful to watch. And so that could help. Amir Johnson is going to help. Like, they returned almost everybody. They upgraded in the front court, and they'll have Thomas all year. And they still have Brad Stevens, who should figure out a way to put this all together, although he will have some guys who are upset that they don't have minutes. So I don't think it's out of the question. I do think that's like more toward the optimistic side of things, especially because I do think the East is going to be better. I think Indiana will be better. I think Detroit will be better. I think Miami will be a lot better. So, I think it's going to be tougher in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, Milwaukee too. I think it's going to be tougher in the Eastern Conference than it was last season.
Right. But it's not going to be tougher in the Atlantic Division. The Knicks are still going to be bad.
True.
The Nets are still going to be bad. Toronto's going to be, I would say, about the same. You know,
I'm really interested to see Kyle Lowry with his major weight loss because he has been killing people in preseason.
Yeah.
And like he came back, he was chunky-ish last year. Came back with like all cut up.
Yeah. I mean, they were a good team last year. They were good. Yeah. I expect them to be about as good. Like I don't expect them to make any big leap or fall behind. Yeah. So the Celtics are definitely improved. All of the points you made are definitely true. And it changed the bench. The bench gets better and that was their strength. And the starting unit gets better, which was a huge problem. So now, if the starting unit can hang,
like they just have to be decent. They don't have to be good even. They just have to be like not terrible.
Right. They just have to be like okay. Just the starters have to be okay. Now, you're right. There's the optimistic view is Marcus Smart figures it out and starts to play a little bit better and
more like James Harden.
More exactly like James Harden. And then does, Avery Bradley, we talked about Avery Bradley. Think about that starting offense. Even with Marcus Smart, let's just say Marcus Smart is the same. David Lee facilitates the offense a little bit better, which still gets Tyler Zeller involved. And then whoever the wing player is just kind of contributes, and then Avery Bradley does the stuff we were talking about at the top of the show, below the break, corner threes, much more efficient scorer. That alone makes that starting unit offense at least okay, tolerable, manageable. Yeah. And then now you start throwing that second unit in there. If Kelly Olynyk makes that jump, if that Amir Johnson, Isaiah Thomas thing works out like we think it will, yeah, then yeah, that's got to translate to a few more wins, right?